Hello, everybody. We are here in the second episode of Let's Talk. Today, we have with us Ganesh Ramaswamy, sir. He is currently the president of Palmado's Toastmasters Club. Talking about his corporate experience, he's worked in a number of multinational companies in India and abroad. He specializes in project management and team leadership. A very warm welcome to you, Toastmaster Ganesh, sir.
Hi, Toastmaster Francis. Thank you for the introduction and great to be here.
Could you give us a brief experience of the various roles that you have taken up in multinational companies and the tasks that you have accomplished there over time?
Sure. Uh, I worked in a variety of companies and in a variety of roles as well, Francis. I started off after my engineering in the process chemical industry, where I've been associated with operations and projects and engineering. Subsequently, I moved to FMCG sector in a beverage industry, and there again set up bottling plants and supported the operations in various geographies. I had a brief stint overseas, and then I came back. And I've been with the oil and gas industry for quite some time now, for close to about 14 years now.
Quite an interesting journey. Since you have a lot of experience leading many large teams, I would like to ask you this question. Before a person calls himself a leader, he needs to have figured out his leadership style. Why is this necessary? And how did you go about figuring out your style?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Yes, I do think it's important to be aware of yourself. As far as the leadership style goes, I feel that everybody would have certain intrinsic characteristics or features that help you to determine the same. For example, my style would be more collaborative, based on consensus, and I like to take the team along with me. So it's important for a leader to recognize that. That helps in being authentic and empathetic as well to all of your team. Having said that, it's important also to know that different situations may sometimes require different leadership styles, which one needs to be cognizant of as well.
Right. I feel that this is the best possible leadership style a person could have because both the sides are equally happy and the atmosphere is friendly. But most importantly, the leader should stay flexible and change according to the situations, right? So, according to you, what is the most important attribute of a successful leader today?
Uh, there are a variety of factors that make up a successful leader. Some of them are firstly to have a vision of where you want to go, and secondly, and more probably more importantly, is why you want to go there. There has to be a deeper sense of purpose so that you have the conviction and you are able to take the team along with you towards that goal. A certain degree of courage and also and a sense of empathy, understanding your different team members, what ticks them and what doesn't. How do you ensure that you carry the team and the organization along in a collaborative way to meet the goals is very important. I think if you want to travel far, you can't do it alone. You've got to take your team with you.
Basically, vision and courage are some of the most important attributes of a leader, right? So, how do you continue to grow and develop as a leader? And what are the biggest challenges facing a leader today?
It's important to know that the external environment is very dynamic today. The world is changing a lot, and one of the key challenges for a leader is to keep pace with the volatile environment. Yeah. So one can counter it by being a learner all the time. And you can learn from anybody and everybody, not just your superiors. It could be your peers, it could be your people who are part of your team or juniors, and it could be the external stakeholders, so on and so forth. I think you can learn something from everybody, which is an important attribute for success in today's context. Secondly, it's important to also recognize the diversity. The different people who come from different backgrounds, they would have different perspective, different lenses to see the situation from, and how you really synthesize all of that to drive towards goal with the focus in mind are important attributes for a leader.
Try to learn from everybody around you. That's something not only leaders, but everybody should do. What advice would you like to give to somebody who's going into a leadership position for the very first time?
So first of all, there is nothing like position X is the leadership position and position Y is not. Yeah. Every position, in my view, is a leadership position. It's only the perspective that you look at it from. Even at the junior entry level, you would have certain goals. You should determine where you want to go, how you're going to do it, who you want to speak to, with whom do you work. So every position, be it in professional or in personal life, is a leadership position in some way, and it's up to you to determine that and take charge of the situation. So I would say that one can tend to undermines one's own potential sometimes, which is probably not right. There's a lot of potential in every person, and it's up to us to leverage that.
Quite a unique way to look at the question from. You have been leading yourself for a very long time. Now, it's just that you're leading a few other people around you. Since you have spent so many years in various energy companies, what are the future trends in energy?
Important thing here is that the generation of tomorrow is very much focused about and concerned about sustainability, climate change, and so on. So renewable energy would make a big impact in the years to come. The fossil fuels of petrol and diesel have served the communities for decades, several decades now. Slowly but steadily, you will find the renewable energies making a bigger impact and a stronger impact. The rate of that change would depend on the country's policy, the societal pressures, and so on. But it's imperative that renewable energies, and we are talking about electric vehicles or harnessing solar power, wind power, and so on. All of them would make an impact in an accelerated way in the years to come.
Going a bit deeper into the transition, as you said, non renewable energy is going to be replaced by renewable energy. Being a consumer, we are only being aware of the minor changes that we are going to see, like the vehicles going from gasoline to EVs. But what are the other real changes that we will be observing in the industry in the coming few decades?
There's a whole basket of renewable energy sources, right from biogas in the rural areas to solar to wind to tidal power to wind and hydrogen and so on and so forth, gases. So it suffices to say now that transportation would change in a big way with the advent of various other new renewables. The utilization uh, of carbon intensive energies would reduce so that the overall impact to the environment is much better and positive going forward. So that would mean the generation of electricity, the usage of electricity, and the usage of all other renewable sources would seriously accelerate, and it will be incentivized by government policies. And we've already started seeing a lot of that now in our own country. But there are many countries who move much faster, and the change is going to happen uh, depending on how fast the policies and the ecosystem develops in a particular geography.
The population is increasing, so is the number of brains. So we can definitely hope that a better solution emerges for the good of mankind with a lot of improvement in technology. With that, we have come to an end of this short interview. Thank you, Toastmaster Ganesh, for spending this time with us and sharing all the insights that you have gathered from your life experiences. Once again, a huge thank you from my side.